lovely fellow adopters, would-be adopters. If you've come to my channel for adoption family support and advice and encouragement, then you're in the right place. And today we're going to talk about our first family home move with our boys. If you think that my channel might be useful to you, then please hit the subscribe button. So our first family move was very exciting, interesting, overwhelming, all of those things. So Tim and I are, shall we say, a little bit eccentric. I think that's probably fair to say. So we had 5 birth children and we decided to move out of area because we wanted to foster, and we bought a huge house. And when I say huge, I mean a house which was an ex-residential home and had 21 bedrooms with en suites, all of a high level, so you know children could actually sit on them. And it was huge. It was a huge house, and it was fun. It was fun to start with. I don't know how many foster children we thought we were going to be having. In those days, I think we were a bit naive and thought we could have loads, but obviously there are restrictions. 4 birth children still at home. We had 5 foster placements because the boys had adoption had broken down and came back, and we had our mother-in-law in there. So we did actually nearly fill that whole house. But what happened was we decided that as our family reduced and our older children kind of flew the nest, that the house was too big, and we really felt for the boys they needed a new start, because at that point we realised we probably were going to adopt them, and we felt that we needed to be out of area and move into a different area. So we really didn't anticipate is how attached the boys were to that house. So the social worker was a bit like, oh, I don't know that it's a good idea that you move, you know, you've had a lot of disruption with them. And we got that, we understood that, but we also knew that we weren't going to be able to carry on living in this house for lots of reasons. It wasn't brilliant for outside space, and it was on 3 levels, and it was just too big attached to things. So even though this house was a bit like, I don't know, big old haunted house or something with huge vast spaces, they were attached to it. And one of them said to me later, I liked it because I could sleep quite a long way from the front door. So that's another sort of like indication of insecurities around, you know, being safe with us and that type of thing. So I found a house that needed also renovating, but we moved to an area that we felt was going to be great for them with a community, and it is, because we're still here now. So we moved because we thought if we move into a new area and we have a new house and they have new friends, they can keep their old friends and new connections, new church, they can start off as our adopted boys with our name. What we encountered with that was, first of all, trying to renovate around them was not easy, but we also got that sense of loss that did overwhelm them at one point. So we did a party for them of all their friends that they'd had in this other area, and we did a sort of like a goodbye party, which was lovely, and they were very fearful of losing what they had. So I don't know that we really anticipated the impact that it would have on them in that way, and so we had quite a few restless times once we moved. We settled them into a new school, and the new school that they are in or have been in was fantastic for understanding their behaviours and what therapeutic needs they had. But from the boys' point of view, it was still different, and because it was different, for them to start with, it was not great. And we had a turbulent, very, very turbulent few months, if not longer than that, where they kept on saying things like, but I want to go back to my old school, and who's in our old house now, and what is such and such doing, what do you think my friends will be doing now? So that showed us that actually it was perhaps difficult to start with, and it looked like it may not work. But as we discussed with the social worker, and she also agreed that even though it was probably going to be distressing to start with, that actually a new start eventually was still going to be better in the long term for them. It was going to move them into a different arena, a different feel, a different vibe. And looking back now, it was the right thing to do. But now we're quite happy and settled in our normal sized family home. and no looking back, no regrets. But I thought if I share this with you, then if you are planning a house move shortly after you adopt, or you've adopted and you've not been in it long and you're thinking of moving, it might still be the right thing for you, but just bear in mind that there will be some sort of attachment issues that might ensue from leaving a previous house and friends and being near certain things. Okay guys, I hope that helps you. If it does, take the time to subscribe, and I'll see you in another one of my videos now. Goodbye.